North Node in Pisces. It's been a while. It has been a while. I actually watched just out of curiosity. I wanted to see, and it's been a year, 1 year now after my 6 month or whatever hiatus. So anyway, we're gonna. I'm not gonna get into all that, but we're gonna make this a regular thing because it's necessary. If you're here, it's because you're part of that 0.001%. Okay, the 100,000% of people you're here. That means you're advanced. That means you're sharp. You're with it. All right, that one flipped right out. Oh, that's beautiful. New start is coming. New start is coming, which is the new moon. We're a little ways away from that, but this is a very, right now, the energy that has really been built up in the universe right now is part of this, another little click of the shift. It's another turn of the dial. And look, this is beautiful. Are you kidding me right now? You have got to be kidding me right now. So we got the new moon, and the second card, I got goosebumps all the way, all over. All over. A win-win outcome is forecast. And it is the full moon in Libra, which you already know we are in the full moon in Libra. There's a card even behind it, but that card had to come out. That was the very next card on top. The card underneath, okay, a personal issue reaches resolution. So this personal issue that reaches a resolution is going to bring in, it's going to rush in the new start, and then it's obviously that's the win-win outcome. This is lovely. This I'm excited already for this read, and it's the full moon in Cancer, which is a water sign. It's very blue, which is very Piscean to me. So already we came out the gate. I mean, you're the first horse on the race, basically, is what I'm getting here. So we're gonna do my typical uncommon read, and that is the Tree of Life. In my opinion, the North Node and the Tree of Life are the two most important things that you can alchemize together. The Tree of Life has 22 different paths? But in reality, it was like 100 and... Oh my gosh, this deck is still super stiff. I really need to just break it in, like shuffle it 35,000 times. So anyway, we're going to throw down a Tree of Life read. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Here, let's get that. You know what? I'm so sorry. I was going backwards. No. I got to keep the count right. I'll really screw it up if I do it that way. Oh, no. Yes and no. No. See, it's been so long. Yeah, it's been so long since I pulled a Tree of Life read. I forgot how to lay it out. Alright, so I'm seeing some loveliness, and I'm seeing some... Oh, yeah. Okay, one more up here. Yeah, wow. Interestingly enough, the moon is in the subconscious. That's a tricky spot. And now we're talking Pisces North Node. So I'll explain it. I'll go in very brief detail, because if you're already here, you already should know, and you already know what the North Node is. But obviously, we know that this is the path that you are to take in this lifetime. The South Node is in your past, and this is something that you alchemize with your now North Node to take you out of your comfort zone to achieve complete growth. And I'm just going to skip ahead. No, I'm not going to skip ahead. But so down here in the root is a really great energy here. This is a go-getter This is somebody who is trying to figure out what to work on next, trying to really figure out what the next move is in life, and I guess I never really paid attention that he's really hunched over and really just almost, gosh, it's what am I trying to say here, guys? What am I trying to say here? You're overcomplicating. Okay, thank you. Overcomplicating what's in front of you. You're overcomplicating what's in front of you, and that's exactly right. Oh, that's exact. Thank you. Because with the moon being in your subconscious, that's why you can't figure out the next move, because your subconscious is clouded. Your subconscious is shut down. You're shut off to your subconscious. Maybe this is where you need to focus a little bit more on that, to get into that Piscean energy, that dreamy, that fantasy land Pisces. And I think what Spirit is saying here is to fantasize about what it is you're working on and where it could lead. Start visualizing. Yeah, wow, that's it. That's exactly it. I just got full confirmation that if you would fantasize and visualize and imagine where this will take you, if you can really fantasize of where this thing that you're working on to create this stability, and it's a financial stability, not emotional. If you would just fantasize about it just a little bit, it really only takes 10 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, and just keep adding until the next thing you know, it's all you're thinking of. And now that's that shift. And that's that walking towards your north node. And it almost is not going to feel right at all. And that's probably why the moon is also in the subconscious, because it doesn't feel right to be that way because of your Virgo south node. So with that Virgo south node, you're used to being in the right now, in the present, in the 3D, in the physical world, in the routines, so it's very uncomfortable to start fantasizing. And plus, you've been taught your whole life to throw that away, to get rid of your imagination. That's silly. It's not real. But everything in this whole entire world was an imagination at one point. So come on. What if Henry Ford was told, that is crazy, stop using your imagination? That is so, oh my God. So, okay, let me go ahead and keep moving forward here, because what I really love to see, and I feel like this might have been even in the Pisces North Node read, I feel like almost. The Page of Cups is over here in your emotional responsibilities. So what that's telling me is you are to be responsible for yourself as a page. You are the page, and you are to be responsible for your cup. You are to be responsible for this fish that's in the cup, which again, it's kind of funny that there's a fish in there and we're talking to Pisces North Node. Imagine that. Imagine that. You see, the universe, God, works in mysterious ways. And here we are. Now, what I don't like seeing here is in your communication and career. Okay? And I don't even have, Spirit is already pouring it into me right now. This is somebody who is talking all of the limiting beliefs to themselves. This is somebody who is telling themselves over and over and over again in their head, instead of, and seeing it goes right along with this, instead of fantasizing about this, you're fantasizing about this. Do you see? You see where I'm going? So this is where your thoughts have been, and they've been all, and that's where you've stayed. Maybe you're already in this Five of Pentacles. Maybe you're on your way out in the cold. But what I do know is if you would stop doing that and focus on this instead, which is in your root, right? Oh, thank you, Spirit. Okay, so stop focusing on the current, like what your 3D eyeballs are showing you. You know, because a lot of times in my life, maybe even now you could say, is a lot of people would look at my life and think that I'm in the five of pentacles. But to me, it's everything I've ever dreamed of. Because it's the next step. It's the next step. It's the next step. I bought this house as a flip, as a fixer-upper. And everyone, I've even had people tell me, oh, you should bulldoze it. No, listen, this is my dream. I bought my dream. I am living my dream right now. I didn't buy debt. I didn't buy a whole bunch of debt like everybody else does, and that's what you're programmed to do. And then pay for something 3 times over. So, now, beautifully, we go to the center energy. And it is now the Knight of Cups. I love seeing this here because, again, this is the center energy that affects, like a sunburst, it affects all of these affecting energies around it. So you're going to give love over here, or we won't, I'm not up to there yet, but you're going to give love over here to yourself. You're going to give love down here to this situation and your craft. You're going to give love over here to yourself and start, maybe something you should look into is what type of attachment style that you have. If you would look into what type of attachment style you have, you would better know yourself, and you would be, because you can actually change those, and you would be able to talk better to yourself. You might find out that you're a insecure attachment, an anxiety filled type of person. So anyhow, I'm loving to see this here because you still have some love for yourself. You just need to give yourself a little more reassurance. And then we'll move over here into your helpful matters. So your helpful matters is the Knight of Pentacles. So now I don't know, it's almost as if there is somebody who will come to help you with this Pentacles situation, with this stability. And it may be some type of collaboration to get, because these are all connected. All the paths are connected. And maybe there's somebody that's been trying to help you. Maybe there is, somebody that will be coming soon. Even though this is really all about you, but I'm getting, because, and why I say that is because that Knight is actually looking at this Knight. See? So, I don't know. Maybe that's something to look forward to, or you already know what I'm talking about. So over here in your opposing matters, which is, it doesn't surprise me that this is here, because this is the case for a lot of people. We are in the day and age where we have a lot of options and choices, and sometimes that can be a curse. Because there are so many options and choices, there are easily some that are not as good as others, obviously. You don't even have to have this card to know that. But there is quite a bit of ways that you want to go, or that you are thinking about going. I don't know why I'm really drawn to these beads here. These beads here reminds me of like Mardi Gras. Maybe somebody is from Louisiana. Somebody is from the Strip. So then we move over into the responsibilities. And it is the World card. You're responsible for the entire world. No. What I love about this World card is that it does have all of the zodiacs on it. It's kind of like hidden all around. And Yeah, okay. I took that break because Spirit said this is what you need to do with yourself. The responsibility that you have is to yourself, to take time for yourself, to isolate yourself. Now, yeah, it's the World card, and typically you would say, oh, it's the end of cycles. But because she is encapsulated inside of this circle here, that tells me that this is somebody who is protected during that time period. Somebody who is protected by that white protective shield, the white light. I'm getting Celtic, I'm getting Irish from this card. Yeah. And then over here in your difficulties, you have a choice. You have two choices. And that's why it's so difficult. There are two choices. And, you know, I'm the first one to say, I don't want choices. I want what's supposed to be for me. I don't want choices. That's the worst. Because then you gotta, what? You gotta let some people down. And then you have to wonder, out of all the choices, did I pick the right one? It's like, I don't know. Do you pick a name out of a hat? You know? But what I really love, and the strongest energy in this entire, on this whole table, and it can't be in any better position or spot. Because despite being down here in your root, not knowing what to do next, really just trying to figure out, just figuring out. And you still have this very strong, and when I say strong, I mean you have a very solid, like impermeable connection to spirit. I mean, you have a very strong connection to spirit because in your spiritual position is the Emperor card, Aries. And we're just now into Aries season. So what a better energy to have there. That's the spiritual part. So you're solid in the spiritual. So there's really nothing to worry about because who cares about all of this? You're solid in God. You're solid in spirit. You're solid in the universe. You got a spot at the right hand. You know, there's no worries. Don't worry about all these illusions and options and choices and trolls. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about this Five of Pentacles. This too shall pass. But this is really not I feel like this isn't even something you're really in. I think this is, and I've said this before, I think this is a case of where you are looking at everything else and what everybody else has and where everybody else is in life and their ages maybe and whatever, and you're thinking that you should be there. Well, there you're comparing yourself to somebody else, and so that makes it look like, because our society is that status quo, that status, just status level. You know, so then there's a bar, and there's a mean, and there's a medium, there's a high, and there's a low, and you're seeing yourself less than. But that's really just a limiting belief, because that's what I was starting to say, is that if you can't see abundance right now, right this instant, if you can't stop my mouth, hit the pause button, and really think, maybe turn your phone off. Stop the read right now, turn your phone off, and then come back. Because you really need Spirit saying strongly, right now to me, telling me, you really need to stop and look at what you have now. What are you grateful for now? What are you abundant in now? Because most people, the majority, want to always base it off of the damn pentacles. The bullshit paper and metal. It's just paper and metal made from a shredded tree that probably should never have been killed for this silly energy, right? Yeah, I sound like a hippie and I don't care, but it's the truth. It is the truth. Let's see if I pop the Ace of Swords. That would be crazy. Eight of Cups. Walk away from the self-limiting beliefs and the doubts about yourself. Stop not loving yourself. Okay? Stop walking away from self-love. That's what I'm getting here strongly. This is this is beautiful. I just love this. And you know, that Pisces energy is creative, talented, musical. So this is where it's like, okay, you have a North Node in Pisces, and maybe you're somewhat creative, but you don't believe that anyone would care, or you don't think that anyone would appreciate it because you think you're not that good. So your comfort zone, your South Node, Virgo, was to forget about that. That stuff is, I mean, it's just art. What the hell is art? It's abstract. It's woo-woo. It's whatever, you know? That could be your thought. Or music or whatever. Crafts. You know? And spirits just really, I mean, strongly, like, they just keep on telling me, you just really need to stop comparing yourself to everybody else. Oh, man. Like, it's just not good. It's just not good. It's not good. You'll always end up in this feedback loop of you're not enough. You will always be in this feedback loop of you're not enough. You're not enough. You're not enough. Because that guy's got, look, that lady's got way more swag than me. So, you know, this is it's a difficult journey. You know, they say this twin flame journey is difficult, but I want to say that for one, I think it's a little more BS than we are being led on to. But the North Node journey is right straight out of your comfort zone. I decided to bust out the old. This was like I think this is the second deck I bought, actually. It was the second deck I bought because it was just so beautiful. It was just, it actually fell down off the shelf. It fell down off the shelf at my feet. I was just trying to think of, I didn't know, I had already had my Rider-Waite, because that was the number one I knew to get. And it just fell out off the shelf. I'm like, oh, I guess maybe this one. And I'm like, well, that's a weird deck, but it's not tarot at all. And I'm like, what is this? I was so new, I didn't even know much about oracles or any of that. So we have the Cloak of Wisdom on the bottom, and it's so funny that we're talking all about this moon energy and being so in the dark about what to do next, and we have Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. A lot of times when we come to tarot and we ask these questions, son of a bitch, if we don't already know the answer and we're like, I was hoping that you know, I asked because I was really thinking and hoping that these cards would tell me something the opposite, and I knew it. I already knew it. And then you paid money, and you're like, shit, I wasted that money. I already knew this answer. You suck, reader. You just told me what I already know. Well, hell, that's not my fault. But hey, I'm not laughing at you because I've done the same thing. About every time I've ever paid any money to anybody. It's, oh, yeah, okay. You're right. You're right. So, we've got Life Force. Cernunos. Express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual power are increased. Okay, I mean, we do got the lovers up there. I don't know. Spirit said two more. Mahavatar, Mahaji, soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. I love it. I love it. You understand the connection between all things. That's why I love doing the Tree of Life, because it is connected to all things. The Tree of Life. Avatar. I mean, come on. So, yeah. Your consciousness is expanding. Therefore, expanding the subconscious. Mother Mary. Love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. You know, it's so easy for me because I've been doing this my entire life. But I'll tell you one thing. You know, the argument I always have with everybody is, okay, hey, okay, so you're right and I'm wrong. So now what? What do we do now? Because I really don't care. I'm going to tell you this right now. I love to be wrong. I love to be wrong. Because when I'm wrong, I learn. Every time I'm wrong, I learn. If you're not learning when you're wrong, then you've really got an ego that is bigger than this world. Your ego is already outside of this earth. Okay? If you're not learning when you're wrong, then you're doing it wrong. Okay? That's the bottom line. Bottom line. Oh, gosh, I have been getting this whole time, like, little here, little there, but like right now, it's like it's starting from the inside and it's doing these like waves out. Almost just a big disaster. Kind of like if you ever seen the movie Twister, and she made all those awesome chimes and how they kind of whisk like this. That's kind of like what it's like. Oh, so we've got the mirror. The mirror. Huh. Why am I hearing the man in the mirror? Because I've got the moon energy here, and I was thinking of Michael Jackson and the moonwalk, and then I heard the man in the mirror. Huh. How about that? You want things to change, but you have to start with the person in the mirror. You want everything around you. Before I read, you want everything around you to change, and you wish everything around you was different. Like, oh God, why can't all this just be different right now? If you understood your power, it can be. If you understood your power, you can be. You have to start with yourself. What did I say already down here? Jeez. Before I read that, I really want to, real quick, before I read that, because I did want to give you some divine mind. I call it the Divine Mind Oracle. So, you just need to fantasize about yourself. Nothing, sensual, yeah. But you need to fantasize about your next move. Fantasize about how far it can go. And don't put a cap on. That's why I don't like to, I like having goals in a way, but I don't really like putting that goal, because then it's like putting a cap on it. Because then what do? You got to take the cap back off and then decide how much do I want to wait before I put the cap back on. Basically, that's what you're doing. You know? Oh, I didn't realize 2 cards came out and it says fresh start and focus. Fresh start and focus. We started out with new start is coming, new moon. Win-win outcome is in the forecast. And you're being given the opportunity to begin again. Allow yourself to embrace a freaking new life. And open up fully to this gift that you have been given. The gift that you have been given. The ability. You have been given the ability to do something. You've been given the ability to do something. I thank God every day, like, you know what? I thank you, Spirit, that I have the ability to use both arms, all my fingers, to be able to rip this $1 million home apart. Like, you give me the ability to rip this $1 million home apart so I can turn it into $1.5 million. You know, so oh man, the cards always say what they can say, and you're asked to focus and shift your focus away from what isn't working and what is, and toward what is. Paying extra attention to where you place your focus is the first step toward creating an amazing life. I mean, obviously, right? The Fool's Journey. Nothing happens with the Fool. If the Fool does not take that leap, the Fool is still there, just looking down. Nothing happened. Nothing's changed. Without it taking the leap. You know, because this is where you have to remember. Pisces is ruled by also the planet of Jupiter. The planet of expansion. Go figure. The planet of expansion. So it's time for you to expand. Expand your mind. Expand your consciousness about where it is that this can take you. Because you're only stopping yourself wherever you're at now. You are your own blocker. You can't point a finger. We already know the redundant, stupid saying, which is not stupid, but it's like turn signals now. Nobody uses them. So the same thing with this saying. I'm just saying, like, you got to look in the mirror. That's it. Whoa. 23. It's that 5 energy again. I think I said that. I don't know. Not? I just did. Alright, so the mirror is a reflection of your physical and spiritual self. You have received this card as the universe wants you to focus on what energy and emotions you are sending out. The psychic reading card of the mirror is a gentle reminder you need to pay attention to your thoughts as they are manifesting and returning to you. What is my sign off? You know. A mirror can reflect the consequences of both positive and negative actions. The mirror card can represent different meanings. A mirror is a reflection of how you currently, today, right now, appear. You can't be more in the moment than when you're looking in the mirror. You have to be in that moment, right? Because why else would you be in front of the mirror? You know, I pluck my eyebrows, and when you do that, you really gotta focus. You know, women know. When you're doing your eyelashes, whatever, you gotta really focus. And you can always tell when the ones they don't. Everybody's getting all, you're getting all subconscious now about your makeup. So, the spiritual meaning of the mirror is truth and enlightenment. In order for a mirror to reflect, it requires light and illumination. So this card relates to your spiritual path. That's so good. You are like a mirror and have the ability to be illuminated, enlightened mind who reflects the light of the universe. You are a true spiritual being who can create and reflect positive experiences into your life. In ancient times, seers would use mirrors as portals to the access to the spirit world. This was called mirror gazing, and the mirror portal was called a psychomantium. Your loved ones may utilize mirrors to make contact with you. You have received this card to connect you to a loved one in spirit who is trying to get your attention through mirror gazing and reflection. If a mirror is cracked or broken, it is a sign that any negative energy you have been experiencing around you lately has now been broken and the negativity released and neutralized by the universe. It's like that wonderful, beautiful, and I'm a math nerd, so, but it's the wonderful, beautiful algebraic equation. It's balanced in the beginning, and all you're doing the entire time that you're doing that algebraic equation, you're just keeping the sides balanced. Now that I know that I have 5 Libra placements, no wonder I've loved fucking algebra so much. All algebra is a heart and a feather. It's a heart and a feather. You're just balancing the scales. Holy cow, this is so good. It doesn't mean you're going to have bad luck for 7 years. You're releasing that releases that negative energy. And you know, I'm a mirror collector of sorts. So I have probably, I don't know, 15 or so at this point. But I didn't realize this or think nothing about this at all. And I had them already for, some of them for several years. But the energy, wherever those mirrors came from, and I guess I'm getting into this for everyone right now. The mirrors will capture whatever's energy's been around it. So wherever that mirror came from, you know, you buy a mirror at a yard sale or even at brand new. There's no telling what's been done in front of that mirror. Not to freak you out or gross you out or anything, but there's no telling what's been done in front of that mirror. So the first thing you need to do, like, just like your deck, okay, because a mirror's a medium. A mirror's a medium. So you need to sage it. You need to cleanse it. You need to speak over it. You know, I don't just sit here and wave some stuff around. Like, yeah, I do it because I get embarrassed or whatever. But, you know, you actually speak over it, okay? Scorpio Priestess has been doing this. She's been doing a real-time experiment, okay? I always talk about these social experiments that I have read about and over and over, and I've researched, you know, on the I don't know why I'm doing this, on the computer. But she's actually doing the real deal, speaking positive and negative words over rice, okay? And it is a very clear and distinct difference, and it's not even been that long. And she's only one person. So that's why they always have a group of people. You know, they always have a whole group of people doing it because the Bible states that where there are 2 or 3, so it is. The collective agreement. Not democratic, because there's no room for doubt. There's no room for somebody that doesn't agree. Because if somebody doesn't agree, they need to leave. Because you need total agreement with whatever it is. That's why you want to stay away from people who are like, oh, not happy for you. Not happy for your new job. Not happy for your promotion. You know, or not happy for your dreams. You tell somebody your dreams and they just want to shatter them all. They want to set them on fire. Those are the people that stop your dreams from happening because they're not agreeing. That's why you need to be around like-minded individuals. That's why like-minded individuals find like-minded individuals, because subconsciously, I don't know why I did it here because it's up here, obviously, but subconsciously, we actually already know this. Okay? I'm so glad this has been probably one of the best reads I've ever done. Aren't they all? So lovely. I love this. I know that this has given you something to go home with, something to chew on, something to meditate on. Beautiful, lovely. I'm just like, it was just a burst, a rush of energy. You wouldn't even know it, but I've only slept probably 6 hours in the last 4 days or something. I don't know. 7, 8, 10 hours. Hell, I don't know. I don't really keep track. But I'm always the same. So weird. I love it. So with that, I'm going to leave you with this. Please watch your thoughts. They will manifest into your words. Your words will manifest into your habits. Then your habits are definitely going to manifest into your caricature. Change your thoughts, change your character. See you on the north side.